The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bachelor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bachelor After Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Bachelor After Show. We have waited months and months and months.
Too many months.
And we are finally back for January.
They've been pumping that. I think I've been saying that in normal conversations with people, and they look at me like, what? Well, oh my gosh, yes. January.
January. I am Cathy Kelley. We are missing, unfortunately, JC Rubio and Chrisley Kennedy tonight. They will be back later in the season, but we have a new host on the panel,
Yes.
Danny Hoyt.
I'm excited to be here. I'm really excited to join you guys every week.
A huge Bachelor, Bachelorette fan.
I am, and I love it. I love it. I've been so
I
excited
love
for
that you
January.
can admit it, though.
Yeah,
that's what's most important.
No shame, not at all.
And this season looks like it's gonna be a doozy.
A doozy's a good word for it.
Yeah.
There was some nuggets of dooziness tonight.
I mean, I didn't think okay, so we're getting so much Juan Pablo in 1 month. I think that we're almost gonna get an overload. We got last night's, they did a little
Juan Pablo overload. Let's try to say that.
Let's say that 5 times fast.
Juan Pablo overload. Hashtag.
Okay. No, seriously. So we're getting Sundays, 1 hour on Sundays, 2 hours on Mondays.
That's a lot of Juan Pablo.
It's a lot of Juan Pablo.
Some would say that's not enough of Juan Pablo. For me, it's just the right amount.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's looking pretty good.
Juan Pablo, yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He's got the genuine charm. He doesn't try to do it. Like, he doesn't have to try.
He definitely seems suave.
Suave is a great word for it. Juan Pablo is suave.
And I would say, I understand he's a very, very attractive dude, but this is like the first season where I'm not like, I don't know, with like Sean and all the past Bachelors, I've always been like, oh my gosh, like I wish I was a contestant. But like now I'm kind of like, oh, this is going to be an interesting one to watch.
Like, you're more excited for the girls than...
Yeah, I'm more excited for the girls. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited because I feel like guys in his situation with a kid, he's genuinely, like, not that other Bachelors aren't, but he's genuinely trying to find a match for, like, you know what I mean? For not just himself, but like there's more components to it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's, I mean, it's going to be tougher. I think that, you know, we saw this with Jason and Molly, or, you know, Jason when he was going through his season, is it wasn't just about him. He was also trying to find a mother for his kids.
It brings some other components into, you know, to balance and to analyze when looking at different girls, and I think that's cool. It adds just a cool level to the show.
I think the reason, and I realized this actually while we were just talking, the reason why I'm not as invested in Juan Pablo is because we didn't see as much of him on his season as opposed to past Bachelors and Bachelorettes. Is usually they make it to final 2 and they're rejected at the last rose ceremony, or final 3, final 4, whatever it is, and he was eliminated pretty much halfway through the season. So last night, the hour-long episode was almost essential to learn more of his backstory because we hadn't gotten that.
Well, and I think it's cool that part of the way he got catapulted to the front is because fans tweeted and said, we need more airtime. Where's Juan Pablo? Where's Juan Pablo?
Gosh.
Hashtag Juan Pablo. And then all of a sudden, here's January, and it's Juan Pablo.
He had like 85,000 followers before any of the other guys even had 10. It was
had
ridiculous.
an army. It was great. So I love that the show kind of latched onto that and was like, okay, we'll give the fans what they want, you know?
And I can definitely see his appeal. Girls, I remember at the after the final rose last season, on Dez's season, everyone in the audience, like, people were wearing shirts that said Juan Pablo, and they had signs, and they were just going crazy. They were going nuts.
I don't remember that.
You tuned it out.
I believe you. But I just don't, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it adds to his legend, the legend of Juan Pablo.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's used to that from all the soccer fans screaming.
Oh, they're the craziest fans.
Yeah.
So now he's got both sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
Juan Pablo.
Yes.
Anyways, so I want to read this real quick because this is funny because I have a cool segue. So
Okay.
I want to read this thing, but I have a great segue that I came up with. So first of all, we want to tell you guys about Slim Fast. With Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast. But here's the thing that I like about this with Slim Fast, because you know who's not looking slim? Kathy?
Who?
Juan Pablo. He's put on like 10 or 15 pounds of muscle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the girl that had the fake pregnancies.
That's funny.
Yes.
No, Juan Pablo. Like, I mean, he looks like he's put on like, I mean, they said last night that he hired they got a trainer for him.
We talked about this during the episode. Usually soccer players are they're very muscular, but it's lean muscle. My mom used to play professional soccer, and she used to say she got into soccer because all the guys had good butts. All the guys had good butts, and that's why she got into soccer. And maybe, I don't know, I haven't really stared at Juan Pablo's butt, but
Yeah, me either.
but.
Okay. but all right.
Yeah, we did see yesterday they hired him a personal trainer.
Throwing some
he's looking
tires
a little,
around, and yeah. And so he's putting out.
He's got the abs. We saw him
he's filling out his
shirtless.
shirts a little bit. Yeah.
I think he has to compete with Sean's season, where Sean was shirtless pretty much the entire time.
You know what? They did open it out with him in the shower, like they did with Sean. I thought of that.
crazy.
It's like the thing. It's like the go-to. Let's open up in the shower.
Slow-mo running on the beach.
Yeah.
Oiled up
lathering
abs.
it up in the shower.
It's good.
Juan
Good
Pablo.
stuff. Good television. Sean. Speaking of him.
Yeah. How'd you
comes
feel? Well, how'd you feel about his advice?
I thought it was a little bit forced. They do this every season
Mm-hmm.
where someone from a past season comes on, gives advice. Where have they interacted before? Like, they weren't on the same season. Sean was from Emily's. It didn't really make sense as to why they were friends. I understand because Sean was the most recent Bachelor, and they also want to promote his wedding, which is going to be airing at the end of January.
Right.
But to me, bring one of his family members on. Like, fly his sister in, who we know they couldn't see each other before his send-off. Fly someone in who is actually very important to him, as opposed to just someone from the Bachelor family that he's acquaintances with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Although I do understand why they wanted to bring in a past Bachelor, because they can give that advice that no one else can really give.
Well, and with, Sean has success. And so, and it's still happening, you know what I mean? He still has success. So his advice holds a little bit of water.
I almost wish they brought in Jason Mesnick, just because they are in more of the same boat, where Jason had the kid, he was a single dad coming on the show, and he also found success.
Huh. I wonder if they know each other. I wonder if that would have been even
Probably
more
not. I mean, they might have met at some press thing, or...
I wonder if it just would have been a little bit too much of like a distance to pull from, that viewers would have been a little like, okay, that's a little far.
I'm sure they didn't do it just because Sean has such a following and they wanted to get that on as well.
Yep.
But it's also been several years since Jason was on his season aired, and I think they want something a little bit more relevant. But yeah, so speaking of Sean and Catherine's wedding, going to be at the end of January. We will be covering it for AfterBuzz like we did Ashley and JP's wedding, so that'll be fun. Make sure to look out for that. But let's get into the limo.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
We got some packages before, and we're going to kind of go through those with all the girls. First off, we have Amy L.
Amy L. Orlando.
Local news reporter. Gorgeous red dress.
You were pumped about this. You said a comment right away when she walked in because they never bring in reporters. You love that.
I think the last person, just because I've noticed they usually try to stay away from actresses, hosts, reporters, that kind of thing. I thought this was cool that they brought in the last person that they had was, what was his name? The weather reporter, Jonathan. Do you remember him?
Vaguely,
I think it was Ashley's season, maybe.
I remember this scenario. I didn't remember his name, but yeah.
He was a weather reporter, and Jonathan Novak.
Wow.
And he lives in I'm a huge Bachelor fan. Seriously. Well, he lives in LA and teaches hosts, I think, now. So that's the connection there.
Okay.
But yeah, typically they shy away from people who have done on-air stuff because they don't want it to come across as, I don't know.
As rehearsed, like you're an expert kind of.
And genuine as well.
Well, and you know what? She did come across genuine though. And I liked red dress right off the top.
Yeah.
Like, I was into it.
Cute girl. Definitely.
Girl. Next up, Cassandra. NBA dancer was her little thing.
21 years old.
Yeah.
That just seems way too young.
Well, it was just awkward. Like she was...
The awkward pause at the end.
There was like 5 seconds of just standing there.
I mean, she's a gorgeous girl, but it was definitely...
I mean, she looked great in the dress, but it was just...
Leave them wanting more.
Yeah, there was no chemistry. It was that quiet awkward was very interesting. I'm just curious about where they were going with that casting.
Christy up next.
Is that the marketing manager? Yes, from Illinois.
White tiered dress and headband is all I wrote down for her. She wasn't too memorable for me.
Oh, there was a girl in the white dress that was orange with the blonde hair.
Orange.
Well, sorry. The white dress wasn't helping her color and her blonde hair. It didn't work.
A little too tan. I mean, still gorgeous girl.
She's beautiful.
Christine. What do we think of her?
Her dress was my favorite.
The green dress?
Yeah.
Amazing color, by the way. Good job for you.
And she's the one that brought something for Camila.
She brought the bracelet that said Camila on it, which I thought was such a cute gesture. It looks like another girl, Danielle, brought a gift for Camila later in the night, the teddy bear, which she gave to him inside. But definitely...
But she was the first one that they showed, at least in editing, to bring a present, which gives her, I think, bonus points.
It's going to take me a couple weeks to remember all of these girls because a couple of them, I mean, obviously there were standouts from tonight, which we're going to talk about later, but...
It always does. It always takes me like 2 or 3 weeks. But I really liked Christine's entrance from the get-go and finishing off with the present.
Yes. One of my standouts for the night, actually, coming up, Nikki. Black beaded dress. She did the whole stethoscope thing, which I thought was cute because we did get a package from her earlier where she said she was a pediatric nurse, which is one of the reasons why I liked her because that means obviously she has to be good with kids. She's 26 years old, but she looked like such a baby. She looked like she was 19.
Yeah, she looks like she's in college. But you know what? You could tell in the first minute of them introducing her that she has a big heart. Like she even said, she goes, I just want to do good in the world.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. And that right away for me says like, okay, like you have levels to you. And I think he recognized that right away as well.
Kat up next. Gorgeous girl. I cannot say how pretty she is.
Oh, this is the girl that did the salsa dancing.
She's a dancer, yes, and for me, one of the best dresses of the night, the red dress, looks stunning and so confident. Like you could just tell in not just her limo exit, but also when they were talking later in the night, it just seemed very comfortable.
Yeah, she's really confident in who she is. Like she's self-aware. And she wasn't intimidated by it. The fact that she walked up and said, she had a game plan for salsa dancing, and Juan, he ate it up. He was like, absolutely, let's do it. It was good. It made her memorable, and she actually was one of my top 5.
One of the things about Juan, which I find not interesting, but he seems like he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Like when he sees a girl that he's attracted to, you can tell immediately. And there were a couple girls that you could just see. He was like, yep. That one. Like,
yep.
And they say it every season is, the bachelors and bachelorettes can tell after the first night is over their top, 3 people. So it's that short of a time to figure out.
You think she's one of the top 3 people in Juan's eyes?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, maybe not top 3, but definitely
but she's up there.
Top 4. I don't know. I think, hold on, how many do I have as my top people? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I have 5.
5, yeah. 5. Okay, so she's my top 5.
Yep.
Next up, Chantel.
Chantel, 27. Okay.
How to pronounce her name, which is really awkward because
that's not a tough name.
Chantel is an easy name.
Yeah, I can pronounce that in my sleep. Chantel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Meh. Okay.
Well, it was an interesting way to enter your conversation. But
memorable?
I guess. I mean, we're talking about it. I remember it. So, okay. I'll give her that.
Victoria. Gorgeous yellow beaded dress. And she speaks Spanish.
Yes. And you know what? They had a cool little interchange where he said, help me with my Portuguese, I'll help you with your Spanish. And I thought that was really neat. I'm kind of curious
She's one of my front runners, I think.
She could very well be, and I love the name Victoria.
Yes. Free spirit Lucy.
Lucy. Okay, Lucy got some time last night on the show. She got some air. And I was really curious to see how that worked. And she definitely, she's in a lot of the clips for the future parts of the show.
Every season, they always have, you know how they have the titles for what the girl does for a living. And free spirit, I mean, come on. When I saw this, when I was looking at the girls online I think it was a month ago when they released all the girls on abc.com, free spirit.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this girl's not making it past like 3rd week.
But.
And she had no shoes on.
She had no shoes on, which I felt like she threw her legs like up over his lap and let her feet. Juan even said something about it. But I mean, he seemed like he was into.
She was confident.
At least the fact that she was very upfront.
Gorgeous girl as well. Looked like you mentioned. It looked like she had no makeup on, and she was still very pretty skin.
Was she the girl in last night's episode that when Chris surprised her and told her in the boutique she jumped on him? Mm-hmm. It's the same girl, right? Mm-hmm. When she put on that dress in the boutique last night,
she looked smoking.
Smoke show, I believe, is the word that would come out of my mouth. Oh. She looked like a smoke show.
I thought you were going to say that about another girl.
Well, yeah.
Andy, saving it. Okay. So, up next, Lauren.
Up next is Danielle.
Danielle, sorry.
Danielle
I knew I missed that one.
Yeah, she had like the I loved her hair. She had like curly hair.
Very pretty girl.
She's 25. She's a nurse as well.
She actually, yes, she went to St. Louis University, which is where I went. Mm-hmm. I believe she was a year younger than me, and I have some mutual friends with her, but I don't know her personally.
Okay.
So,
I liked her. She said she had a present for him inside, and I don't remember what it was.
It was the teddy bear.
That was the teddy bear. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the one that gave that.
Yeah, I liked her. I thought she was beautiful. She had really pretty eyes and like good complexion, like her face was.
I could see her going far, and I don't know. I just see. You know how every season there's always one where they don't focus on them? Mm-hmm. Like Jeff Holm, like the first night, like they showed him, his entrance on the skateboard or whatever, and then you barely saw him the rest of the season. They left
you wanting more because
they end up winning.
Yep.
So I could see her being like the underdog kind of person, potentially.
Yeah. 25, and she's a Midwestern girl. Shout out to the Midwest.
Yeah. Lauren,
26, the music composer.
Played the piano, which was really cool. Even though she messed up, I thought that was almost endearing.
Yes, I liked it better. I actually wrote that exact thing. And the fact that I liked their little exchange. He ran. He was like, "Let me help you," and she's like, "No, I got it." He's like, "Okay, I'll go back and wait for you." It was cool. It was memorable. It was unique, and she's talented.
Yes,
I like that.
Cute, definitely.
That was Lauren.
Chelsea,
24. The science educator was her title. What's your feelings on Chelsea? She's a beautiful girl. I just couldn't get a read on her personality.
So we saw a little bit more of her last night, I believe, and then we saw her package today. She learned how to speak Spanish for the show, which I think is great.
Shows commitment.
She's very cute.
She's the girl that was ducking behind the plant in the one shot. And she was like, and so she looked funny to me. Like she's witty. She's got timing. Yeah, playful. I
just don't know that that's what it doesn't seem like they would be a good fit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like what he's looking for.
Okay. That's a nice way of saying it. Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to see because I couldn't get a 100% read. Like she looked like she had a lot of good things. I just couldn't get a read on on what it would look like if she wasn't as happy. If that's if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Elise?
The gold dress, blonde hair.
That's all I have written down too.
That's what I wrote. You know, I don't remember thinking anything super great or super bad about her. Just that she was pretty. She was really pretty, and I liked her gold dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was focusing on the next person, who's one of my top 5 of the night.
Who?
Ashley.
Ashley,
the teacher from Texas.
Okay.
She gave him a gold star, which was kind of cheesy, but it's really cute because she's a first grade teacher.
Yeah.
She was super confident in who she was, right away. Like walked up and I love that. And she's a first grade teacher, so she's relates to kids. She's a little. She's 25. She's not super young, but she's younger. But I liked her.
I didn't have her written down as my top 5, so
something about her there, like she was like 5th or 4th for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's definitely a cute girl. The teacher thing, yeah, that could help with.
Yeah, big time. And that's what she's passionate about is kids. You know what I mean? You're not a teacher unless you're passionate about kids.
Claire.
Also in my top 5.
She is in my top 5.
Yeah?
I love her. I think she's not only gorgeous, but she knows how to make fun of herself with the whole fake pregnancy thing. If you guys watch Burning Love, I don't know if it was a reference to it, but there's a pregnant girl on the first season. Hilarious spoof off of Bachelor. Amazing. And they joke about having a pregnant girl on the show. And this, she's stunning and
she's beautiful.
Funny.
She's also from Missouri.
Oh,
another shout out to the Midwest.
Yes.
Go Claire.
And I think we did get a package from her earlier in the night. I just wrote down beautiful eyes. And she said she's part Mexican, so she speaks Spanish.
Yes.
Which I thought that obviously adds to her. She gets points for.
Well, she was the youngest of 6 girls. I wrote this down. She was when her dad passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought it seemed like she was ready for a serious relationship. She said she wanted someone who was like her father in that they were loving and caring and genuine, and that just, I don't know.
I also wrote down she had the best eyes of the night. So.
I already said she had beautiful eyes.
Okay, well, I'm just reiterating because they were my favorite.
Fine, agree to agree.
Next up, Allie from Chicago, 26. She's a nanny. She's the one that came out with the soccer ball and kicked the soccer ball towards him, which I thought was a great play. It's clever.
A great play.
It was a great, you like that play on words? It was a great play. Juan loved it. And I didn't necessarily like the line of looking for a teammate. I thought that,
cheese balls.
But she was wearing sambas, which, if you're a soccer player or you know anything about the sport, sambas are like a cyclical shoe that comes back every 15, 20 years. They're classic,
She does know about soccer. It wasn't just. Doing. And I was surprised that multiple girls didn't come out with soccer balls, or maybe the producers
she knew what she was doing.
Did that. But yes, she said she plays with the guys, she knows what she's doing, so.
Yeah. She wasn't, I didn't put her in my top 5, but I really enjoyed that. So I thought that was clever.
Amy.
The massage therapist. Go ahead. No, what does that mean? What does mean?
She didn't make it tonight.
Nope.
So, I don't know. The massage scene in her package was really awkward. The facial expressions and stuff. That was just, I don't know.
She was trying to make it a little sexual.
Yeah, and then later in the night, after they went inside and she gave Juan Pablo a massage, that was a little bit awkward. And she said, this is the quote that I didn't understand. She said, "None of the men I've dated in the past have enjoyed massages." So, who doesn't enjoy massages?
So either these men are freaking crazy, or
she's freaking crazy.
What is the deal?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
No. I'm good. I don't need a massage.
Yeah, no, don't touch me. I don't want a massage. I'll go pay for one. Are you nuts? No way. That's amazing.
The breakfast airplane was also a little... At least she's ready for kids.
She was going at the camera with the... Yes, that's right. I forgot. Oh, my gosh. All right. Sorry, Amy.
Renee.
Is this real estate agent?
Like her a lot.
From Florida.
Single mother, has a son, 8 years old, Ben.
They had a connection right away.
She's top something.
You know, I didn't put her in my top 5, but she's my top 6.
I forgot to put her in my top 5. She's my top 6.
I was like, wait a minute, I really liked her.
Yeah, no, I really did like her. The fact that she's also very active, likes paddleboarding, rollerblading, is from Florida, that just, I think that would fit his lifestyle, it seems like. So she's definitely a front runner for me as well.
And Juan even said, he goes, we have a lot, we have a ton in common right away, just both being parents. So I think that bodes really well for future interactions with them. They have a baseline to come from.
Their conversation, once they went inside, was very comfortable as well. Like, I'm glad that she, told him the whole single mother thing right off the bat. And it seemed like they connected on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Next up was Lauren from Oklahoma.
Yes.
This is the girl, she got some airtime last night. Okay, can I say this? Lauren, when they showed her last night and they showed her today, she looks like 2 different people.
Yes and no.
Because she had glasses on when they opened the door.
In one of the scenes.
Just in the one scene,
Yes.
yeah. When she had glasses on.
For like 10 seconds.
For like 10 seconds. She looked like a completely different person tonight. Like, a completely different person. So
Yes.
it took me a second to register, but...
I feel really bad for her because... I mean, when she's going through all these things, she definitely didn't seem like she was ready to come on the show just for the sheer fact that she had her engagement end 6 months prior to taping.
That can't be easy to talk about on
Definitely
TV like
not easy to talk about. And then to be thrust into this position where you're essentially fighting against 20-something other girls for 3 minutes of this guy's time, it's got to bring out a lot of insecurities in anyone, not just someone who went through that harsh of a breakup where he calls you at work to tell you that it's off.
Yeah, that's brutal. What kind of guy does that? Come on, that's brutal.
A jerk. And I really felt for her. I thought that was just, it wasn't a good situation to be in. And I'm worried that the producers brought her on just so that she would be the crier.
Yeah, for that TV
of the
credit.
First night, which is really unfortunate. And then especially her conversation with Juan once they were inside, it felt really, I felt bad for her because it seemed like she wanted to tell him all of these things. She wanted to be that positive person, and it didn't necessarily come off in the way she had intended because she was nervous.
I agree. She was nervous and she was emotional, and so it didn't come out in a way that was...
It looked a little bit desperate to him.
And you could see the sympathy on his face. It was more of like he felt bad as opposed to being genuinely interested and feeling like, oh my gosh, let me come for you, is more of like, oh my gosh, I feel sorry for you, like, but I gotta, I got other things I gotta think about. I think that's a tough spot because I think Juan is a genuinely, caring guy and he wanted to, but he knew right off the bat, like, if this is what it's like day one, then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Maggie.
Maggie
Another
from South Carolina.
Amazing red dress. Kind of looked like a pageant dress with the...
Yeah, you loved her dress right away.
Her dress was gorgeous with the mesh center and the jewel thingies on the shoulders.
I love the Southern accent.
Yeah.
I do. I don't have any friends that have that legit of a Southern accent.
We saw her...
So I loved her right away.
Her last night as well, where she talked a lot about fishing, and she talked about that tonight. And gave him a fishing hook.
Which the presents? There's a lot of presents this year.
They always do presents.
But these are good presents.
This one, even though she said the cheesy line about finding a catch, I thought it was a good kind of cheese, not the soccer ball teammate.
You can say anything with that accent and be okay. Like if you pat your baby's so ugly, like it would be okay. No, you can almost say anything. Like I feel like
your baby's so ugly that.
Yeah, it was a terrible Southern accent. Yours was better.
Mine is the gross Southern accent. Your baby's so ugly that you just should return it.
Stop, Cathy. Just
return it.
Just return it. Steven's back there. I just feel like she could, like she's just, I just liked her right away. She has a charm about her, that Southern charm.
Definitely.
She's young. She's 24.
She seems genuine as well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Kelly, who brought her dog.
Yeah, Molly. What was weird to me about the dog thing, I mean, it's fine, bring your dog. I realize you're trying to make an impression, but the dog was there later.
At the rose ceremony.
At the rose ceremony, they cut away and everybody's staying there like beautiful in their dresses. There's this dog just like chilling on the front right side. I didn't get that.
that's when the producer should have stepped in and been like, just give it to a PA.
Yeah,
be like, okay, go walk this dog for like 30 minutes while we do this. Well, the rose ceremony probably takes longer to film. But
I feel like other girls are probably
dog.
like, what?
Yeah, too.
Okay.
Meh.
Anyways.
Lacey. She has 13 brothers and sisters. 9 of them, she said, are special needs.
Yeah.
And I loved her entrance as well when she said 25 girls can give you a headache. So she brought prescription. And I think it was just candy inside, but it was
like the size of like a bratwurst. It was huge.
It was cute. It was definitely cute.
I want to ask you something, because they said she started her first home for elderly care when she was 20?
Yeah.
That's a lot of ambition. That's really cool.
She seemed very genuine.
I want to know more about her.
But
Lacey, and she had a beautiful dress on.
Did she get a rose tonight?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah. There's something about her.
I don't know why my brain is mush. Okay. No, I did write down who.
Next up
No, she was eliminated tonight.
Lacey?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Lacey was eliminated.
Well, I wrote down the wrong thing then. Crap, because I really liked her.
I know.
I didn't put her in my top 6.
I don't think that they got much time together.
No, you're right. They didn't.
And that's why.
Well, I really liked her.
Yes.
Next up was Alexis from Florida. She was 24. I just wrote awkward with a lot of A's. Because I think that's what I said out loud. Awkward.
Yeah. She does speak Spanish, though.
Yeah.
Which is good. But other than that, I didn't really see much.
It wasn't much substance there.
Yeah.
Next up, Kylie from Rockford, Illinois. Pink dress, red hair.
23.
Young.
So young. And we'll talk about the rose ceremony later.
We'll get to that.
Because that was very awkward.
But there was a moment when so they had their little exchange, and then she hugged him, and she just like turned and started walking away. It wasn't like a see you inside. She just turned, and he was like, okay, we'll see you inside. And she's like, oh, yeah. From the get-go, that's what I kind of knew.
Same thing. Leave him wanting more. Just didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Her plan didn't go through. So
Charlene from Ottawa, Canada, / Germany, is an opera singer. Very shy, but very mysterious at the same time. And I mean, absolutely
mysterious and
gorgeous.
serious, yeah.
You could tell immediately he was attracted to her. He just like lingered and looked at her when she walked away. He does that with everyone, but there was something that like he was definitely into her.
What was it? Was it just a look in his face?
I don't know. I think that like I could just tell he was definitely into her. And we saw later he gave her the first impression rose, which is a huge thing. Also kind of a death sentence because no one who's ever won the first impression rose has gone on to win the actual thing. But very awkward first impression rose giving where he gives her the rose and
5-second pause.
She accepted it and she said, sure, thank you, sir.
Sir. Thank you, sir. You caught that too?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Wait, was that just like a habit that came out? Like, I don't understand. I did not. I wish he would have acknowledged it, like a yes, ma'am. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Or something. I'm curious to see what happens with her. She does have a lot of mystery to her.
Yes.
But that moment befuddled me.
Mm-hmm. And we have one girl left to talk about. But first, I just want to say that, huge thanks to our sponsors, Slim Fast, for sponsoring tonight's episode. With Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast. So thank you guys for doing that. Really great way to get in shape, especially for the new year. I want to lose those extra pounds because I ate a lot of cookies over Christmas.
Oh, home cooking. I gained a few pounds.
Yeah.
Speaking of Slim, though, can we talk about the last girl? Because she's my favorite. She is the ultimate smoke show of the night.
She is stunningly gorgeous.
Andy with an eye. I love
beauty
it.
And brains as well. She's a lawyer. We got this package from her earlier in the night. I think we saw her last night as well. She is, I thought she said something else, prosecutor.
She's a
gang prosecutor in Georgia.
Yeah.
Hot lawyer. I was hoping the first package that we got from her, she was very, very serious and only smiled at the very end. But once I saw the smile, I was like,
Yep.
I have a girl crush on you.
Well, okay, so when she walked down the steps and like she took off her glasses and looked, I was like, are they trying to make her look like she's like a, like a snotty person? And I think that's what they're trying to bill at first. But when they showed more of her with like her, I'm going to pull this out, her ombre hair, and even when she had it pulled back like with her glasses, she was by far, I think, for me, ultimate smoke show.
The ombre hair crush too. And she even said nervous but excited, and I felt like he felt the same way.
They played off each other better than anybody all night.
They had so much chemistry together.
Right away.
So she's definitely my top 5. I would say she's my top 3.
She's my top 2.
And I even said while we were watching that if she does not get picked by Juan Pablo, she has a very, very, very good chance of being the next Bachelorette.
I will back that up. You said that within 1 minute.
And I was just like, I could totally see her opening line. It's like, I focused a lot on my career, and the one thing that I'm missing now is a husband.
Cathy, that was too perfect.
It is, though. It's seriously like, I could see it.
Yeah.
And the whole, he goes, what was your name again? And then she goes, what's your name?
Yeah, what's your name again?
That was cute.
It was perfect. She didn't even hesitate, too. She's got
And it
wit.
wasn't, clearly that wasn't something that she came up with before.
Right.
Because, I don't know, I just like that it wasn't forced.
Yeah, she can handle it. She gets it. I like that a lot.
Yes. So he's obviously attracted to her. I think we missed one girl, Valerie. We didn't talk about her. She's a personal trainer. We got a package from her earlier in the night. I don't remember when her limo entrance was, but one thing
she was the one that said that line, not only am I pretty.
I hate that. That irked me so much. I'm pretty. Yeah, and then did the whole archery thing. That, I don't know.
Not only am I pretty, but
No thanks.
Okay.
I mean, she is pretty, but that's...
But you don't need to say it.
You need to be pretty and humble.
We can all see that you're very pretty.
We have eyeballs.
Okay, can I say something, though? This was one of my favorite things that they've done on A Bachelor with the photo booth and the dance party.
Yes.
I loved that.
Photo booth, dance party, and champagne combo, definitely.
Yeah, that's a recipe for success. Anytime, anywhere. I thought that was really cool. I mean, I'd like to give all the props to Juan Pablo, but let's be honest, that was probably some producers.
Yes.
But I love that they made it look like it was him, and all the girls seemed to jump. I mean, of course you're going to jump into it, but they all like loosened up. That was really good.
Were there any conversations? I know we got some brief tidbits from some that stood out to you.
Yeah, I will fast forward to right here, the Renee conversation, because they talked. They right away. He said something about
both single parents. Yeah,
single parents.
Nikki had the first conversation, and it seemed very, very comfortable.
It's the same word.
And it might have been later in the night, but it just seemed like both of them were very comfortable. And then
Charlene's conversation. Well, Andy. Let me do Andy first.
Okay.
Because she said she usually likes being in control.
Yes.
Which you can guess, being a lawyer. But then she said this is one of the things where she's not, and she likes it. And I feel like that was just an added fuel to their fire that's existing between Juan and Andy.
She seems like, and this is just from the 2 minutes that I've seen her on TV, so it might just be me making this up in my mind, but it seems like she is the type of girl where she is very powerful at her workplace, but she wants a guy who can take charge at home.
Yep. Like a man.
Yeah.
Yep. And I feel like he could be that. And then Charlene stuck out to me, obviously.
Well, yeah, we talked about that a little bit already. The Chelsea photo booth thing was kind of awkward, where she goes, "Do you remember my name?" And he just goes, "Nope."
But it looked like they had fun.
Yeah.
I think it looked like they had fun.
Yeah.
They let loose a little bit. They put on some hats and some glasses.
Yeah. Then
okay, I have one more that stuck out to me. Elise. She was the girl who her dad lives in Pennsylvania, and then Juan was like, "Well, what about your mom?" She said her mom passed away a little over a year ago, and you could tell she was on the verge of getting emotional about it. But he kind of flipped it into something about her, and I liked that conversation.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about Lauren's conversation, which we talked about a little bit before, just her ex and how he had a son. We didn't bring that up.
Yeah.
And it seemed like almost during their conversation, it seemed like she was trying to fill the void of her ex-fiance with Juan Pablo. She was like, "Oh, well, the ex had a son and you have a daughter." I don't know.
She introduced
that's what it sounded
late
like
in the conversation. the son part. And I remember thinking that's a little late in the conversation to bring in that fact. Not necessarily she even had.
I mean, I think she was trying to show that she was ready to be a mother and a stepmother.
It just didn't come out.
Out the way that she'd intended, and I really felt for her, as I said in that moment. But it was unfortunate.
It was a lot of camera time on that. There was a lot of time devoted to that conversation.
Mm-hmm. So then let's talk about the rose ceremony very quickly, and then we'll wrap. So the most awkward moment of the night goes to Kylie.
Kylie wins the award. Kylie from Rockford, Illinois.
This goes back to Jesse's season when he accidentally called the wrong name. Almost worse than that is Kylie, who Juan Pablo calls Kat's name. Yep. And Kylie walks out and he goes, you could just tell in his voice he was so fearful. He's like, no, Kat.
He felt terrible.
Well, yeah, because she was getting eliminated and he knew that.
And he knew it. So he put his head back and he was tapping the rose. Kat's face was my favorite, though. Because when she stepped down, she was like looking at her shoes. She stepped down, she looks up and Kylie's 5 feet in front of her. She already walked out. And her face was priceless.
Yeah.
I felt terrible
awkward.
for Kylie.
Oh my gosh.
And Kylie knew. She knew right away. Like she knew, she was like, I'm not getting one.
Yeah.
I felt bad for her. It was
really
an awkward moment of the night. And the dog for me. The dog thing was awkward.
And then this is something that I don't know if all of you guys at home caught this.
Touche to you for catching this.
But Chris said this is the final rose. And if you see, there's a quick cut of Juan Pablo. He gives out the so-called final rose, and there's still a rose sitting there.
Yeah, you caught that. We were around it.
He has a rose in his hand, and there's a rose sitting there on the plate. So either it's bad editing or something. I don't know what happened there. Sometimes they shoot them out of order, but that was just...
and maybe the last one wasn't as dramatic as, maybe this was the most dramatic one they played. Or there's some foreshadowing that we haven't picked up on yet.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There might be a little something in there.
Yeah. So... you would think that they would edit that out, even just blur the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That somebody would catch on to that.
Better.
You have a picture of it, right?
Yes, I have a picture of that, so we will put that on our website. If you guys are listening, you can see that on AfterBuzzTV.com. We will have that up later. So at the end, we get a season preview for what's to come.
And you know what? These are always interesting to me. I love watching the season previews because they do a lot of creative editing, as we called it. And you always see that there's going to be, obviously some drama and
the most dramatic
season ever. And there's some things said, and there's clash of, the Titans. I'm curious to see who the most dramatic people are going to be. I think Freebird is obviously going to be.
Oh, completely.
Because of what they showed.
Was that her kissing him in the water?
That, yes,
okay.
I think it is. And then they were saying she acts like this is her man. The person, I don't know who it is, and if you guys know, if you can figure it out, the girl in the bathroom. I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Because they show her bawling, and then he goes to the bathroom, they don't let him in, and he's talking to them from the outside of the bathroom, if it's the same scene. And then she says, Juan Pablo, I hope you die. Who says that?
I think that might be creative editing, and that might have been said somewhere else, and they just paired it together because they have done that in the past. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
But I'm really curious about that moment.
To see. I'm worried that we're going to have another Courtney Robertson this season after that water kissing scene because that some of the girls are not going to be happy about that.
Especially not in front of them.
No.
So.
No. But I'm definitely excited for what is to come. It's going to be good.
It's going to be very good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. And do you think that he's going to introduce Camila?
I think that he will, but
At what
late
point?
in the game. I think that it'll be probably
3?
Final 3, I want to say.
Yeah.
I hope it's final 3. Maybe he'll bring her on a one-on-one date if he ever goes out with Renee, because I could totally see them flying in her son. I think they've done that in past seasons too. Just, if she's really sad about not seeing her son the 4th week in, and so he flies. I don't know. It could be cute.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see that, and I hope they do because I feel like that could be something that could really make his decision on a couple different girls. You know what I mean?
So I guess we should mention really quickly, if you guys haven't caught up on all the who were eliminated. Christine, Valerie, Maggie, Amy, Lacey, Alexis, Lauren H., Kylie, and Ashley Poe were the girls that were eliminated.
Farewell, ladies.
Yes, according to Examiner, so I hope that's correct. I didn't write them all down, so yeah. But again, really excited for the rest of the season.
I'm really excited for the season. I like Juan Pablo.
Yeah. And if you guys at home have any thoughts about any of the girls, what you're excited for the rest of the season, please let us know. Tweet us, comment on YouTube because we read all of those. We will also be reading all of your ratings and reviews on iTunes, so please send those in. Subscribe, rate and comment, tell a friend. We would love all of that. And then in the meantime, where can they find you, Danny?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Vine. All of it is at Danny Hoyt, Hoyt.
And you can find me on Twitter at Cathy Kelley. Hopefully JC and Chris Lee will be back soon because we do want to get this whole crew back together.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And catch you next week.
See you guys next week. Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.